Hey, everybody, how's it going? Todd Spears here, and I have my two partners on Serp Scout, Mr. Herc Magnus and David Hood. They're to the left, right, or up and down from me. I'm not quite sure where you're going to see this from, but they're there on the screen. Everybody knows Herc, I'm sure. The newcomer to the group over here is Mr. David Hood, and I've known David for several years now, many years. He actually lives not too far from me up here in Dallas, Texas. He actually lives in Plano. I live in McKinney. We're neighboring suburbs of the DFW area. And I've known David quite well for many years from another group that we were a part of several years back. And David has been doing SEO agency and digital marketing services for local businesses for a long time. David's from Dave. Yeah, 2012. That's great. Many years, and we're going to get more into David's story here. Not a whole lot today, but we want to bring him on today and introduce you to, because he is going to be a part of this software and the training, and we'll get more into that in a little bit. But we definitely wanted to make sure we brought him on today and introduce him to all of you, so you start getting familiar with him and who he is and what he stands for and things like that. But more importantly, not more importantly, but the reason for our webinar today is we definitely wanted to reveal our new software they've been working on for the past, I think, around 6 or 7 months now. And so we have the beta version ready. And we want to give you guys access to that today and show you how you can get involved. And so we're going to do a really cool demo of everything that it can do today. And you'll see the power of it for more client acquisition. As everybody knows, we released a similar version of this last year called Pixel Scout, where it was mainly focused on finding websites that were not retargeting on Facebook, because we all know that retargeting is very, very important, and if websites aren't doing that, then they should be, and it makes good sense to contact them and get them involved in retargeting. But so what we've done now is we've taken that one step further, and we've decided to make a more general tool that allows us to do a lot more checks and a lot more things that finds weaknesses in people's digital marketing on their websites. And we'll get into all the things that it does and all the things that it checks and how easy it is to use and contact those local businesses out there. So that's really all the intro I have. We're not going to be on here super long today. This is probably going to be a quick 20-25 minute video. Herc's going to do the demo for Serp Scout. David's going to talk a little bit about the reason for his being here and his experience in growing his agency. Then we'll also have a special guest coming on near the end of the webinar as well. So stay tuned for all of this, and we'll be in and out of here in less than an hour. All right, Herc, that's all I got, so I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right, I'm going to turn the cameras off too. You guys will do that, and we'll focus on the demo. So I'm going to do a real quick demo, guys, of the software. Where's the camera button? There it is. Got it. All right, let me close this. Welcome to
camera, David. David, there you go.
Yeah, he's good. All right. So, quick question for you guys. How many of you, give me a 1 if you've used Pixel Scout. Give me a 2 if you've never used it, just so I know. Okay, wow, awesome. So Pixel Scout was basically, you know what? Never mind about Pixel Scout. Most of you never used it. So basically what Serp Scout is, guys, is it's a prospecting software, right? We all know that, especially in the rank and rent scenario, or if you're in an SEO agency scenario, you need to prospect for new clients, and it can be kind of cumbersome and annoying. So what we built here is Serp Scout, and what it will do is it will go out based on any keyword. So if you put in a keyword of any local niche, okay, I'll just use the obvious ones that everyone uses, like say for instance Dallas plumber, okay, and then what you can do is say, okay, search this keyword in a specific set of pages in Google. So you can say I want to search from page 3 to page 7. Okay, you highlight those and then you click on begin search. Now I'm going to run this search, but I'm going to show you other results that are already done. So what that's doing right now is it's going out and it's scanning pages 3 to 7 for Dallas plumber, and pulling back in all the results from those pages. And then it's going to search for those pages for contact information like the email address, the phone number, if they have a Facebook contact page, if they have a contact page. Okay, so let me load a couple of other results. So for instance, Salt Lake City Emergency Dentist. I'm sure you guys have seen that, or a lot of you have seen that. So if I click on load results when the search is done, you can see this means in progress. Green, yellow means in progress, green means it's done. When you click on load results, okay, it'll open up all the results that it found on those pages of Google, and it'll tell you it found an email address, it found one contact page, didn't find a Facebook page, no phone number. But then it also starts analyzing for basic, very basic SEO elements. So do they have an SSL? Do they have Open Graph? Do they have Google Analytics? Do they have schema? Okay. Then what you can do, if my screen stops doing its own thing here. Okay, if I load results again, I don't know why I did that. Then remember, we're still in beta. So that's the point of what we're doing right now, guys. We've got it ready to a point where we think it's ready for beta. And what beta is we get a bunch of users in to start using it. And you guys are going to help us find any additional bugs, give us feature suggestions, give us feedback. So not everything is going to work 100% in beta, but that's the point of beta, right? So anyways, it goes and it finds a bunch of contact information. It starts with the very, very basic SEO elements. And then if you want to take it a little bit deeper, I'm not sure why it keeps refreshing like that, probably because it's scanning. What you can do is send it to what's called a deeper analysis, right? And what that's going to do, okay, so this button right here, what that's going to do is take that, that particular listing and send it to a deeper analysis for additional checks. So let's go look at this one. We'll send that one away. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's the deep analysis is done now. So page speed, mobile friendly, schema, social checks, all these things can be included in the report. All these things can be included in the report. Yeah, it'll work. Basically, Rob, it works on Google, right? So anywhere Google goes is where ours will go. Because what you're doing is you're searching for a keyword, right? So like if you're doing in the UK, so plumber UK, right? That's what it's going to search, right? And then right here, you can choose the Google location that you want to search in. So instead of United States, which typically I do US, you can do United Kingdom right there, right? And then just your keyword would support that location. And then one of the other feature upgrades that is coming, we just haven't had time to develop this yet, is it's going to do a basic on-page SEO audit as well of the site. It'll pull back what keywords this user is ranking for and in what position along with the metrics, right? So you're going to get basically all this information about these websites for that keyword. And the idea is that you can now reach out to any of these prospects by via a couple different ways. You can send them a campaign. Okay, I'll start with report. The next thing you would want to do if you liked it is you'd want to build them a report. And this is one of the options that you have. You can choose to just start emailing them what you want, or you can choose to build a report that you would host for them. So let me give you an example of the report. So from the SERP scanner, I clicked on create a report. Okay, it brings up this result, and then what you would do is go like this. So let's go to the edit screen of the report. You can build out a really beautiful customized report. Okay, so this is, for instance, my company, and then I did all these elements. Okay, report prepared for this company, and then I put in custom HTML, whatever I want. Okay, and then let me show you this. If you open the settings, okay, you choose who the client is, you choose what domain you want to host the report on. We have a bunch of different options for the look of the report. Really cool scrolling clouds, cubes that float up. You basically build a nice report that you can send over to your client in an email, right? And our report editor it's basically drag and drop. So like, for instance, if I wanted to put detections in there, I could just drag and drop those into a box. Let me drag it into this guy's box here. One sec. Right there. Okay, actually, we don't have the detections yet because they're still scanning right now. I didn't do that pre-webinar, But basically, you build a report. The report can show them what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are. It shows them who your company is. It's tailored to them. It shows them their information, okay? And then with custom HTML, you can basically put in anything you want. Like this one is pure custom HTML. I'm using this, for instance, because I have a Salt Lake City emergency dentist site that's ranking #1. So I want to prove it. So I use the custom HTML builder to show my rankings, to show the website, to show the phone calls coming into the site. There they are. There's the deep analysis stuff. To show them what's wrong. You can do video. You can do anything, right? When you create the report, okay, then what you can do is basically go back to your result and create a campaign. Okay, now what a campaign is basically like an autoresponder built into the software, where you can set up emails to go out to this client. And in those emails, you can say anything you want, right? You can basically, so let me give you an example of what I've done for this one. Okay, we're gonna edit this. I have to go to, oh, this one's already sent. Sorry. Let's go to campaign. How come I can't? Sorry guys, I'm just not. This is the problem with beta. Let me see. That's the report. Anyways, the campaign is where you set up emails, right? And you can set up a series of emails. So you can set up email 1, email 2, email 3, email 4, email 5, and have it automatically follow up with the client. Within each of the emails, you have the ability to link over to the custom report in the email, right? So that if they click on this, okay, when they get to this, you show them the problems with their site. If they're interested in contacting you, they click this button, it loads a contact form, and they fill out their information and click send message. This fires off an email back to you that says, hey, that client is interested in talking to you. So if they fill this out, they're a red hot lead, right? So based on the report. So like the first email, you might not want to send the report. It's going to be, you don't even have to send a report with the campaign manager. You could just send regular emails that link to anywhere you want, but you have the option to build and include a report as well. And then the campaign manager, the nice thing about it, and it's going to be really, really important, it also tracks the opens and the clicks of your emails. Right now, it's the tracking like, what do you call it? The tracking graph is showing you overall on campaign, but we're making the move to show you the open and the click-throughs on a per email basis, right? Now that way you can start understanding when you're prospecting clients with your outreach email, the first one, you can understand if it's a good one by the opens and the clicks, if there's a click involved, right? And then that way, because of the tracking, you can start getting a better email that you start sending out to future clients. So we're going to track the opens and the clicks on each email. You can schedule each email to automatically follow up at any time. The last little thing here that I'll show you is the settings. It's just where you set up. So from the report, you guys saw that up here. I had my company's information right here. So settings is where you would basically set up your company's information. We integrate with Gmail and with Outlook. So all you have to do is authorize any Gmail account or any Outlook account. So I believe those include Outlook, Office 365, Hotmail, stuff like that. You just authorize them through something called OAuth, okay? And then the emails that you're sending through our built-in autoresponder are actually being sent from your personal email and from your personal email address or Gmail or Outlook. And I believe we are going to be adding SMTP services as well. And then as far as identities, you can manage multiple identities. If you want to set up one for one of your companies, you can add an identity if you want. So here we have, like, for instance, Supremacy Digital. Okay, phone number, Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Then we have Marketing Wizards. If you want to add a new identity, it's pretty easy to do. Okay, you would just put in new identity, business name, email it, domain. Okay, and then once you fill this out and click save, it'll add a third identity. So when you go to create a campaign, all you have to do is choose your client, choose your identity, choose your emails. Okay, and then click send. And you can go. Okay, so there's our Dallas plumber. So let me load some results here. So you can see lots of detections. We have the flagging option. So what the flag is for is basically, so like Better Business Bureau, right? You're not going to be contacting the Better Business Bureau. So what you can do is if you want to flag it, what that'll do is it'll submit it to us for a back-end review. And then for all users in the future, we'll skip bbb.org so that nobody gets it. So we have a community. Oh, look at that. Someone already submitted BBB for review. So what ends up happening is as you guys are submitting sites that are not local sites basically, or big directory sites, Yelp, Home Advisor, we can start slowly through the community filtering out those types of results so that your results, when you're searching your future results, get a lot cleaner. Now, from running Pixel Scout, one of the other things we found was that sometimes users are like, ooh, I don't want anyone else to contact this guy. I want him for myself. So he'll flag this guy. Well, that's why all the flagging has to come to us for review. We don't want people to like hoard their results, right? We want you to have the ability to flag a result, but we don't want you to be able to hoard a result for yourself. So it has to come to us in the back end for review. Let's see, what was some of the other things? Oh yeah, filtering. So let's say in this instance, there we go, we found 43 websites. It's not 100% done yet, but one of the things that we're going to be doing is having the ability to filter out these results. So like obviously there's a bunch in here that you don't want BBB. We're taking care of some of those with the flag, but then there's going to just be some results that you don't want to contact and set up campaigns and reports for. So what we're doing is we're expanding on this filter result so that you can show only websites that do not have a Facebook pixel or Open Graph or Google Maps or Schema or whatever. They must have an email. They must have maybe a Facebook page or something, so that you can filter out just by searching, or even keywords, maybe location keywords or something like that. If I put in the keyword repair, it filters the results out to only results that have the word repair. So we have all these filter options so that you can bring the 43 that it found on pages 3 to 7 down to like 12 that really are awesome prospects for you. And then another feature upgrade that we're going to have is we're going to, instead of having to set up a campaign and a report for each of them, we're going to have a select all button. Okay, and you'll set up one campaign and one report, but it will dynamically insert each of the detections onto their report. So that's a huge improvement over what we had over at Pixel Scout. It's not done yet. So for now, you just kind of have to do one at a time. But the nice thing is that you can duplicate, once you create a report or create a campaign, campaigns are for emails, reports are for basically reporting. Once you got like one that you like, you can save it as a template and duplicate it. So we're trying to make it as fast as possible for you guys to set up contacting this guy, moving over to this guy by just duplicating what you've done with him, and then going in here, and all you have to do is just edit a few little things in your email or whatever. But ultimately what we want is for you guys to say, yep, create a report, create a campaign, go. And then it starts emailing all these people at once. I see a couple questions coming in. How are we doing for time here? I think we're pretty good, right?
Yeah, we're okay. Probably want to move to Dave pretty soon, David.
Okay.
And then I'm going to contact Brian.
Okay, I'll just answer these questions. A couple other things. I'm trying to be real quick here, guys. Export is nice because what we can do is take all the data that we found for that user. Okay, you can create a CSV file. So I'll call it CSV file and say which data you want. Okay, so like I want to export to a CSV file, the link, the title. I don't care about the description. I don't care about the keywords, but I want to know if they have this, or this. And then these are all the searches that I've done in this account. I only want to export for my Dallas plumber, right? So then I can export and it'll go through the Dallas plumber. I'm going to save this on my desktop. I'm going to call it something 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the export feature is nice just if you guys want to take that data outside of the software to do something else. So here we go. Yeah, actually, that's a good question, Everett. I'll get to that in a second. Well, I won't show you a CSV file, but basically, guys, you can export the CSV file to your own system so that if you want to do anything else with the data, you'll be able to do that. Rob says, can an idea create an API with Hunt? So I'm not going to talk about ideas right now, Rob, but part of this beta is we definitely want ideas and improvements. So we're going to have an area for you guys to do that. Manny says, do you have any sales content for the opportunities that are found? Is like why it's a slow site is important. Why do you need schema? It doesn't like, so you mean like templates, Manny? Like, do we have any templates to talk to prospects about the problems that they're having with their website for sales, right? We're going to talk about that in a second. Tim, when it's searching, does it only scrape email address from the visible website or also from a click to call or button? It's basically scanning the HTML code for pre-filtered information. So click to call buttons, if the email is found in the HTML for a click to call, it'll grab it. Many of the websites are removing the visible email. Tim, you'd be like, look at this. This was a live search. So you're saying many of the websites are removing visible emails? We're finding emails for like over half these guys. So it's even going into like contact form 7. Like we're pretty good at finding emails on their pages. That you'll find a ton. 1 credit. Basically, this is a credit-driven system, guys. So 1 credit will scrape 1 page of Google. So if you select 10 pages of Google, that will cost you 10 credits. If you select 2 pages of Google, that will cost you 3 credit, or 3 pages of Google's 3 credits, 10 pages, so on and so forth. So 1 credit will get you up to 10 results, and out of those 10 results, there might be like 3 or 4 or 5 that you can contact and set up campaigns and reports for. So the credit system's super affordable. It's super good at finding a lot of data. You shouldn't need to use a lot of credits to find a lot of leads with this system. It's pretty awesome. And then the reports and the campaigns don't cost any credits. The credits are just for the scraping functions or the searching functions of the site. Everett says, is it possible to change the language of the report? So yes, we had that in Pixel Scout, and I'm not sure if I think, okay, number one, you can set up, like, say, for instance, this in your own language. These, this is custom HTML, so you can write in your own language. This is pulled from the Salt Lake City site, but if I had done a search in a different language, the results would come back in a different language, right? So if I had used Google Espanol or Spanish, the results would have all been in Spanish. And then this is custom HTML, so I wrote in English. You could write in English. Custom HTML, I wrote in English. You could write in English. So ultimately, you'll just create your report in your own language. But in Pixel Scout, and I believe in this one we will, there was also a drop down for changing the language of static features, and I'm sure we can do that, no problem. What's the time frame on all these additions? I believe it's about 40 days, more or less. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. It's a simple software, right? It's powerful, but it's simple. You guys need to find people that in lots of different situations for rank and rent. If you want to go out and find, people that might want to buy your rank and rent sites, you would search your same niche that you're building a rank and rent site for. Set up a campaign, kind of like how I did. This is geared to like trying to sell a Salt Lake City emergency dentist site. If you guys are into SEO, well, then you would replace this more with some of the weaknesses of their SEO. You could include that new feature with their SEO audit. Here's the keywords that you're ranking for and what positions you're in. Here's the weaknesses of your on page, your H tags and stuff like that. You can like literally show them stuff they probably don't even know about their website, and then contact them and show them that. And then it's up to you to sell them. So speaking about selling people stuff, what I'll do now is I'm going to bring David on, okay? And you'll notice there's an SEO training, agency training button here. I'm going to bring David on, and he's going to talk about what he's adding to Pixel Scout. I will say David has a $500,000 a year agency. He's doing it with no clients. And the point of that is you don't get to that level with no clients unless you know what you're doing. But more importantly, David knows how to sell, right? And that's one of the main reasons that really Todd decided to bring on David. I got introduced to David through Todd and OMG way back. So I'm going to flip the screen over to you, David, and then I'll let you do your chat.
How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm not sure, Todd or Herc, if there's anything specific that you wanted me to talk about here.
Sales.
Sales. Yeah. So this is
like when we were building this and bringing you on, we talked a lot about like Manny asked about like templates and when we're scraping all this data from these people who have never heard from you before, they don't know who you are, and they probably receive 100 emails a day. You know how to do cold outreach, and you know how to leverage the weaknesses of people's sites. Like if you have that data, talk a little bit about that and like the
yeah, you're right. I didn't tie that back
going into advanced training, but how to leverage that weakness and how to do cold outreach and stuff.
Yeah, so back to the structure. When you structure things right, the sales becomes much easier, and the positioning that you have. Thank you for bringing back to that. The positioning that you have in terms of how they view you right out of the gate. So that first few seconds when they start engaging with you and they start judging you, if this is somebody that I want to keep spending another few seconds on or another few minutes on, when you structure things right, that goes much smoother, and it really makes a big difference in terms of your ability to sell. Now, also, I do talk about, and I will talk more about in their sort of, okay, so now that you've found them, how do you go about using the information in SERPscout to talk to them? What are some things that you can do to get their attention? What are some things that you should say or shouldn't say in terms of when you talk to them? Again, there's some unintuitive things that you can say that are going to really turn them off that you wouldn't expect if you hadn't gone through the experience and gone through the testing that I've done. And I've also spent a lot of time talking to a lot of other agency owners and getting their feedback on what they understand as well. So yeah, that's what you get within SERPscout right now.
So yeah, guys, David's going to be here for you guys to teach you a lot about, the most important part really, right? SERPscout makes it easy to go and find a lot of qualified prospects with a lot of problems, but selling is always been and always will be probably the hardest part for everybody. And David's here because that's what he's great at. Like I said, he's built a $500,000 a year SEO agency primarily because he understands the process of selling to clients. Like he said, what to say, what not to say, how to angle yourself as an authority in the position you're in, and how to turn a cold lead into a warm lead, and ultimately how to get them as a paying client. So that's why David's here, guys. He's going to do an incredible job with training on that aspect of the business, and we're super excited to have him.
And I'm an introvert, so it's not like you need to be this super salesy guy to get this done. When you build things right and you have understandings about situations and what's kind of going through the mind of your prospect, and some really key decisions in your business, it's going to just make it way easier. So that's how I sell. I sell by setting up the system and the structure to kind of just make it smooth for me, as smooth as possible for me. So, and this is what I've been living for the last, since 2012, I've been doing it, and maybe since 2013, been doing it successfully. It took me about a year.
You really stuck with the agency. Like, you didn't wander off into other methods, did you?
I have a little bit of other parts to my business, but yeah, I've stuck with it very consistently since then. It's been the core part of all the money that I've made since 2013. The 85-90% of it has come from client SEO.
Awesome.
That's great, David. So glad to have you on board here, guys. You're going to be seeing a lot more of David. He's going to be coming on some of our webinars and in the future, and really trying to, get you guys questions answered and help you, close some more deals, because David is living proof of how it's done and done well. So we're really excited to have David on board with this project, and we hope you are too. All right, so we're getting close to the end of the hour now, and I have another special guest I want to bring on in just a second. But let me just ask all you guys out there right now, who wants to be a beta tester of this new Serp Scout? Me. Yes. Right on, right on. Okay, guys. So what we're about to do right now is we're going to switch over and let you know how you can get to get in on Serp Scout for a pretty good deal. We're going to do kind of a 2-for-1 thing here. If some of you guys were on last year, whenever we launched Pixel Scout, we brought in another product as well that went hand in hand with that product as well. We're kind of doing the same thing this year with Serp Scout. So I'd like to go ahead and introduce Mr. Brian Anderson. Brian, can you join us? Whoa, I got a big screen.
Hey, Todd, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Thank you, Brian. Thanks for joining us. So, guys, I brought Brian Anderson on, who's also owns a very big agency out in Atlanta, Georgia, called Media Mash. And I've known Brian for a few years now, and we're in the same mastermind group and everything. And he has a product coming out today that has to do with this outreach, this cold emailing. One of the things that we've discovered, from my experience with Pixel Scout and experience in the past, I've done this quite a few times, is like the biggest hurdle is always like, what do I say? How do I approach these cold clients and get them engaged with me in the most effective manner? That that they respond to me, that I know what to say, that I know how to follow up, and all those kinds of things. And me personally, I'm not the best at that. I'll go ahead and admit that right now. I'm best at creating softwares and stuff like that. But Brian is a master at it. And he's just one of those guys that's been doing this for years and years and years, has tons of experience in it. So he's launching a program today, and we want to bring him on and show you guys exactly what that is. And what this means is, here in a minute, we're going to give you the opportunity to go pick up Brian's package that's going to help you with Serp Scout. You pick up Brian's package, we're going to give you Serp Scout. That's kind of what we're talking about here today. It's kind of a BOGO, buy one, get one free kind of thing. And it's not that expensive at all, so don't worry about it costing a lot. This isn't a $1,000 webinar pitch. Trust me, guys, not at all. Not at all. So, Brian, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you now, and let's just go ahead and show them what all Lead Factory is all about.
Okay. No, thanks, Todd, and thank you, Herc. And before I get started, I wanted to echo what David said. I was on while he was speaking, and I got to tell you, he's spot on. If you take that approach and understand the client, it's not selling. I'm an introvert at heart as well, and I'm not really a great sales guy by any means, but I've probably sold, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 local clients going back to the 90s. And most of the time they're saying, hey, how do I buy? How do I sign up? It's not, hey, let me twist your arm and tell you why you have to buy. So I think a lot of it is positioning and mapping that offer, that product, that service to what they need, not what you want to sell, but what they need. And honestly, Todd, that's where Lead Factory was born. Sorry, I got my windows blocking each other. So with Lead Factory, and do you mind if I just show my screen? I have the members area open, if that's okay.
Yeah, go right ahead. Let's just show them what all's inside there. I've seen it. Great.
Cool. So I'm gonna hide my face from myself, everybody. Okay. So Lead Factory is, in essence, a way to land clients a little smarter than the hype that you see out there. At the end of the day, there's a lot of hype and shininess that tries to tell you this is how you get deals. But echoing what David said, most of the time it's completely ridiculous. Here's how I get deals. I don't go call people. I don't walk in, and nobody refers me tons and tons of deals every week. That would be amazing. However, I get a couple referrals a year like most people, and that's just kind of how it goes. So what I do is I use targeted email, cold email, and I reach out, and I have a bunch of niches. Everybody says to work one niche, but after a while, once you start landing a lot of clients, you can expand on that. And I work different niches. I bring in leads, and the leads may say something like this. I'm interested in your offer. How much does this cost, right? Things like that come in. And then I move the person to a strategy call. And on the strategy call, it's not about selling. It's more about mapping what I'm doing to what they need. Now, the key is I already know what they need. What's important is you have to understand who you're selling to, even when you're not selling. So what I use is I use email. Let me give you an example. I have, all right, so car dealerships. I have this one open, and HVAC. This is an example. Pink elephant. Hello, Todd. What does this have to do with the pink elephant? Nothing. But now I have your attention. Let's sell some more cars, right? This is Brian Anderson. I came across your Facebook business page the other day. I wanted to introduce myself to you. And now you're going to notice it gets specific. We focus on generating quality inbound phone ups and appointments for independent dealerships. An up is like a lead. We're able to generate results for your business far exceeding what you're getting from, and now I name some vendors that they more than likely use, right? My company, so Media Match, can help you generate exclusive ups. Everybody likes exclusive. We can hit to 20 to 25 this week if you have a few minutes, and then I do variations of the same email. Like this one. Our dealers don't worry about how many cars they're going to sell next month. Interested? You should be. And you can take a different tone with a car dealer than you can with, say, a HVAC or roofer, right? And so I go through the strategy and I hit on words and language that's not about internet marketing. It's about their business. Phrases like be-backs, phrases like ups, mapping it to what they want. And when you do that, when you map your email to them, one, your response rate goes through the roof. I typically get 8 to 18%, depending on the niche, response rate from completely cold email. And Lead Factory is about exactly how to do it. Now, the beauty is I designed it so that you didn't need any third-party products. You wouldn't have to spend another dollar. You're going to use Google. I show you how to use Hunter.io and a few other free tools in the product so that you can mirror exactly what I'm doing. Now, if you had a fancy scraper, you can employ that. There's no reason you shouldn't. However, I take the approach that you have nothing, you have no clients, you have nothing, but you know what you want to sell them. Now, what's interesting, Todd, is it doesn't really matter what you're selling. That's not what the email's about. The email's about their pain points and what they want. Anything we do on the back end can map to that front end. And that's what Lead Factory is all about. It's the email sequences exactly. I got started in 1996. I've been doing this a long time. I sold my SEO company in 2009, and I have more of a lead gen messenger agency right now in Atlanta, Media Mash. And I will tell you, the song remains the same, if I can use a little reference. At the end of the day, it's always the same thing. You make it about that niche, about what they want. And I don't care if you insert SEO, video, it doesn't matter on the back end. You have to address that pain point. Now, I show you in here some ugly videos of me, but beyond that, I show you exactly what to do, how to set everything up, give you the exact copy to use, and I go through, along with my two colleagues, Tom Gaddis and Nick Ponte, I go through how to use the strategy session to actually get the deal. And the key with the strategy session is you don't have to sell. Because if you get into a point where you're doing something you're not comfortable with, it's very obvious, right? And it doesn't work that well. But a strategy session will convert at a much higher rate. So I'll walk you through the whole thing. I teach you a little bit about the psychology, because there really is psychology on how to increase the amount of responses you get. And it's the net effect. Instead of starting with thousands and thousands of leads, I typically do 40 to 50. And I circle the wagons around those 40 to 50 until I get maximum responses and I end up with a few deals. And then I move on. And that's what the whole model's about. So for anybody that may be saying, hey, I don't have any clients, or I only have one or two, this is a phenomenal system based on not just my agency, and we've been in our current shape since 2012, and we sell messenger, we sell email marketing, we sell lead gen, on the front end, but it's also based on my two colleagues' agencies. So what's cool is it's working in one multiple 7-figure agency, in 2 different 6-figure agencies in different parts of the country. It's working with a lot of my students around the world. So it doesn't really matter where you live. It doesn't matter what you sell. It's all about mapping to the industry. It's about mapping to that niche. And so I give you a lot of niches, and I even give you a generic one. I had some great feedback from Herc, but I give you a generic strategy that you can use. I like to tailor them. However, you can employ the generic strategy as well. So that's a little bit about Lead Factory, Todd.
Right on. Thanks a lot, Brian. So, guys, you can see how that this works so well with Serp Scout. I mean, Serp Scout's going to give you the ability to go out and find those local businesses, those websites that are in need. And it gives you the ability to easily contact them. It's kind of got that autoresponder system built into it as well. So it'll send 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 follow-ups. And Lead Factory is going to give you the knowledge and the templates and the training on how to do that most effectively, even if you'd have no idea how to do that. So there's so many great examples. The front end offer is specifically geared to a few certain niches. We're going to show you where you can read about that in just a moment. There's another upgrade offer that expands that into more niches. And as Brian mentioned before, there's also sort of a generic template, so that if one of the niches that you are really, really interested in getting isn't featured in this product, then you're able to follow along with what's already been done inside this program and sort of construct your own. But there are already a ton of pre-made templates and email copy for niches inside the system as well. There's some on the front end, and then you're going to, after you purchase the front end, then you're going to get to the second OTO, the first OTO there, and you're going to get several more. And I've seen them. They're all great, highly profitable niches to get into. So yeah, Lead Factory was just such a great fit. It came at just such a perfect time for us to do two things here, to get you into Serp Scout beta and also give you everything you need to be successful at finding those websites and then reaching out and then closing some deals. So we're really excited about that. Herc, if you are ready, we can go ahead and let these guys know here. Well, in just a few more minutes, if anyone has any more questions over here for Brian, we've got about 5 minutes before we'll let you guys know where to go get this. But if you have any questions for Brian, go ahead and pop them in the chat box there, and we can go over those a little bit. Brian, if you could, So yeah, here's another example of a 4-part sequence for HVAC.
Let me walk through this one, Todd. So this is an interesting one because my brother owns a pretty large HVAC company in Florida, which means I'm a part owner because I gave him a lot of the money to get started. And I didn't know a lot of this until we got into the business. Like, I didn't know the real challenge is a lack of recurring revenue, for instance, in the winter month. And they're always looking for ways to drive service contract revenue. And we speak to things like repair, install, and maintenance leads. We speak to their pain point about hating Home Advisor and Angie's List because of the way they sell the leads to multiple vendors, all the kinds of things that these guys deal with in their business. You're speaking their language instead of what we want to say. And when you do that, you'll find they raise their hand a little more often. Doesn't mean you're going to get hundreds and hundreds of deals. It just increases your probability of success. And when you do have a discussion, it's more about mapping what you're doing to what they need. And once you connect those dots, that's how a deal happens. Doesn't matter what the back end product is.
Right on. Perfect. Okay, guys. So that's kind of what we're doing today. So we kind of went over all of that now, and we're straight up at in just a couple of minutes here, 2 minutes away from the card opening right now. Then we'll let you guys go in there, and if you picked up Lead Factory, Herc, do you have the slide on the details of exactly what they're getting, how many credits they're going to be getting for the Lead Factory offer?
Yep.
All right, cool. Go ahead and share that on your screen now, and then once we do that, we'll give you guys time to go in there. And if Brian, if you could stay on for maybe 10 more minutes,
yeah, I'd be glad to, Todd.
Yeah, maybe answer a couple more questions. Maybe we can get back into the member side and go over exactly, a little bit more in detail, like what all's in there and what's in what niches are in the second offer and stuff like that. Herc, can you grab that now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let me
cool.
switch my screen over, guys, and I'm going to cover how this is going to work for you guys, how you're going to get access to everything as well on the screen. So okay. Can you guys see the Serp Scout again?
Yes.
Okay, let me load up this slide for you guys here. Okay, this is our beta test offer, guys. So it's a BOGO offer. You're going to get both products for the price of one. So you're going to get beta test access into Serp Scout to help us improve it by buying Lead Factory. So all you have to do is go buy Lead Factory. It's $27 on the front end. So your investment is very, very minimal. Okay. And that's going to get you 100 credits into Serp Scout to start beta testing for us as well. The first 50 people that do this with us are going to get an additional 50 credits. So you guys spend 27 bucks today, you're going to get 2 products, you're going to get 100 credits, you're going to get 50 bonus credits. You'll get Serp Scout, you get Lead Factory. Okay, and I'm going to drop that link. I think you were at 9 o'clock, so their cart should be opened.
Yeah.
So I just dropped the link for you guys there. So all you're going to have to do is go to that link, pick up Lead Factory for 27 bucks. The first 50 people that do it are going to get 150 credits into Serp Scout instead of 100. Now there are OTOs like they explained. So if you buy their first OTO, it's $37. We're going to give you another 100 credits. Okay, so that'll be 200 credits total, or 250 if you're one of the first. Then there's going to be another offer for their coaching system. Sorry, Brian, can you explain the 197 offer and what that is for them?
So let me be direct. Herc, so the front end product has the core method, the strategy. It has actually, I added a little bit more after I worked with Herc on it. There's 6 different sequences. Amy had asked about them. So there's dental, HVAC, insurance, painter, and I'll talk about that if we have time, the painter, and real estate. And then a generic one that allows you to kind of tailor to anybody you want. Now, the OTO is all about additional sequences, but the one you're asking about is a $1 trial. And this is for something that my colleagues Tom and Nick do. It's more of a, think of it as an online mastermind that they run with other agency owners. They're hitting it all the time. I will tell you, you absolutely do not need that OTO unless you know you want it. You know, I never push things on anybody. If you want that community feel, if you want that interaction with other guys from the startup to maybe 6-figure level, it's a great group. I'm a member of it as well. I have my own groups, but I'm a member of their group, and that's what it is. What I would recommend, and this is just being candid, the front end and the first OTO are an absolute no-brainer. I was going to sell this for $497. I actually strategized in San Diego in November with Todd, with a few other people, and I said, you know what? I'd love to make it much less expensive. Let me do it in a way that anybody can do it. It's the price of a couple Starbucks or maybe a night out for pizza. So it's very inexpensive. As for the mastermind, only you guys know if you need that. And if you think that would benefit you, try it out. It's a trial. And if you don't, you're not going to lose anything by skipping it.
Right on. Thanks for that, Brian.
So I just want to explain to you guys that OTO being a $1 trial, we're obviously not going to give 150 credits for a $1 trial because you might cancel. And it does cost us money to run the system. So the way it works, guys, is if you take the $1 trial and you get Lead Factory, I spelled that wrong, I just noticed. Okay, once your 197 billing goes through, if you want to stay, you can send in a ticket to our support team, supremacy.support. You just head over there, send them your receipt, and they'll add those additional 150 credits for that. That, once again, if you want it, okay, that's totally optional. I saw another question here that said, I don't want any other courses. How do I just get beta credits? Fine. If you don't want the Lead Factory and you just want the credits, go buy the Lead Factory anyways. Put it aside. Don't ever log in. We'll still send you the access to get the 100 credits to Serp Scout. And the nice thing about this, guys, is that the 100 credits you'll get, you won't get them that cheap on any other offer. So even if you're just spending 27 bucks to get the 100 credits plus the bonus 50 right now, that's still a crazy good offer, just if all you want is Serp Scout, but you're still going to have access to the Lead Factory should you choose to use it or not. Access. Okay, guys, so there's already a bunch of people buying. Access. You guys are buying through a merchant system called Warrior Plus, okay? And in order to do that, you have, I believe once you purchase, you will get an email with a receipt. You'll have access to go download Lead Factory. Todd and I have included the link to set up your beta test for Serp Scout as well. Okay, if you have any issues with that link, it'll just lead you to a form where you put in your receipt from the WSO. and it will automatically create your Serp Scout account for you and put the credits in for you. If you have any issues, guys, supremacy.support.
Can I say something about this offer? You mind?
Yes.
Yes. I think this sounds like a really super ridiculous no-brainer to me. The giving away of the his actual what he says to people, and I want to echo what Brian or Brain Anderson, which is Brain in my thing.
I saw that, Todd.
When he talked about speaking the language of the people that you're talking to, that is so huge. I can't underemphasize how valuable that is. I think this is one of the, I would buy this if it was 10 times more. I'll just put it that way. I just want to say that. That's it.
Thanks, David. Yeah, it's good stuff, y'all. I mean, and it's coming from, I want to reiterate, it's coming from Brian Anderson, Nick Ponte, and Tom Gaddis. All three of these guys run successful digital marketing agencies, period. They're not selling because, they're not teaching because they can't sell. Right, they're actually doing it. So this is one of the reasons why, I mean, you're just in good hands. I know these guys personally. I hang out with them. We mastermind together. I visit with them a lot, and they just know what they're doing, and they're very successful at it. So I can't recommend this product more. Get you involved with them, which is only going to, increase your understanding of digital marketing in all aspects of it. And at the same time, we're getting people into Serp Scout, getting our beta testers in because, we're not here to, this isn't going to make us a lot of money, guys. This is just going to help you out and help us out by getting some feedback in Serp Scout, getting some users in there. And that's how we create great software is we listen to you. So this is just a win-win for everybody. Inexpensive product, like Brian says, it's less than going out to dinner. It really is. So, yeah, I'm just checking the stats now. I know we're giving away 100 bonus credits for the first 50. So hop on in there. Let me know in the chat here who's already in, if you don't mind. Oh gosh, there's lots of credits.
Oh, that's good. Like all the questions disappear.
Okay, we're getting a lot of INs there. Very, very cool. Yeah, we're about halfway through now on the 50, so that's cool, man. Appreciate all you guys jumping in on this and trusting in us. Really do appreciate that. I know a minute ago that when I clicked the link, I got an error. I think ClickFunnels might be a little overloaded on this offer today, so I know there's thousands of people hitting that page right now. So if you do get the cool ClickFunnels error page, just give it a second and refresh, and you should be able to get in. I know that's what I just had to do, but that's just,
I'm gonna restate the offer because I see like a lot of questions again about the offer. So guys, it's very simple. Now listen to me now if you're one of the people asking questions. Okay, stop what you're doing and pay attention to me for just 1 second. Okay. The way we've structured this offer is Serp Scout is in beta mode right now. We need beta testers to help us improve the system. So the way we're doing it is if you pick up Lead Factory, which is it's a perfect complement to Serp Scout because Serp Scout helps you find the people that need help. Lead Factory helps you sell the people that need help. So if you pick up Lead Factory for $27, okay, right now, you're gonna get access to Lead Factory. Once you're done your purchase and you go to get your download, you'll get an email saying, welcome to Lead Factory. Here's where you go download it. When you go into your Warrior Plus account to access it, in the bonus area, there will be a link where you can go and take your receipt and get your credits and account set up for Serp Scout. So $27 will get you Lead Factory. You log into your account. There's a link to set up your Serp Scout account. You'll get 100 credits. The first 50, which already half is already gone, will add another 50 credits. So 150 credits for $27. You get Lead Factory, you get Serp Scout. While you're purchasing Lead Factory, if you purchase OTO1, which is additional templates, for $37, we're going to add another 100 credits to your beta tester account. And then if you buy their private coaching, when your 197 rebills, we'll add another 150 credits to your account. Okay. If you don't want Lead Factory and you just want the Serp Scout beta account, fine. That's totally fine. You still have to purchase Lead Factory, but then you could just ignore it, log in to get your download, but instead go to the bonus area, get the link to set up your Serp Scout account. It'll automatically set up your account and put the credits in there for you. And then you can choose never to log into Lead Factory. I don't recommend it. I think that if you're going to get it, you should at least look at it. But we're not doing anything right now with just purely Serp Scout. We're supporting Lead Factory right now because it's so complementary to what we do. So think of it, if you don't want Lead Factory, as you're spending $27 to get 150 credits. Okay. Brian, we do have some people having issues ordering. Do you want to talk about your support desk or something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I see them in the Q&A. So guys, you can put in a ticket. I'll put it in the chat. Looks like there's 500 people on the page, and it could just be volume issues. It's definitely working. I see a bunch of sales, but it's getsupport.biz, and we're pretty quick about it. We'll help you. We'll honor whatever the lowest price is, because we are going to raise the price. This is kind of a special deal right now here with Herc and with Todd. So we will raise the price, but I'll make sure you get the best price. In worst case, I'll refund you if for some reason you had to buy later and pay more. So you won't lose out, I promise you. So it's getsupport.biz, and you can go there if you're having any issue at all. But what I would encourage you is give it a second and just refresh the page. It looks like it's sheer volume from what I can tell. So yeah, so I saw a question somebody asked about, I'd mentioned painters earlier, and if you guys don't mind, I could talk about that for a second. A lot of people, when you think of home services, everybody immediately jumps to roofing because it's the high dollar winner, right? It's the one that everybody thinks about. And I did the same thing for the longest time. A few years ago, somebody hit me up and said, they're like, what about painters? And I'm like, well, I don't know anything about painters. It didn't even remotely cross my mind. And so what we did is we started doing testing in the painting niche. And these guys were responding at a really, really rapid rate, a far better response rate than anybody else I had. And it was that takeaway that the painters were hungry. They had a product that was expensive. I knew from my own house, I renovated a basement, so I had all kind of painting outsourced, and it's not cheap. You're going to spend a couple $1,000s in many cases. Yet they weren't getting attacked and flooded like roofing and other niches were. They were hungry for some help and support. We signed, I don't remember, first week of January, maybe 7 or 8 deals in the same week, selling them lead generation coupled with a bot. And then we did an upfront and a follow-up service. And I didn't know anything about the niche. I knew very, very little. I had a lady in the office whose husband was a contractor, so she knew a little bit about painting and Sherwin-Williams, and she's giving me feedback, and I'm learning on the job as it goes. But I'll tell you, a lot of times when you kind of go outside of the path where the niches that everybody go after, you'll find gold mines, and painting or painters have been really lucrative for us. Never would have thought about it. My mind always went to roofing and HVAC. HVAC was my favorite, but roofing was definitely big money. But we included painters because a lot of people who are trying to have that initial success, it helps when there's less competition. It helps you when you get to stand out from the crowd. And, that's kind of why we did that.
Awesome, man. I know that I had some painting done a lot of times over the years, and it's never cheap. So, yeah, I completely understand that.
I had no idea. My wife hit me up, Todd. She's like, hey, I got the quotes in for the painting. I'm like, all right, awesome. But what are we looking at? And she's like, hey, you don't want to know. And I'm like, it's never good, right? You don't want to know is not what a husband wants to hear. And you're thinking about the price. And it was like $2,100 or something. And I'm like,
I've never had a paint job under that.
Well, this is just in the basement, but still, it was like, I was thinking like $800, $1,000. No, it's always more than you think, just like any other project. So it's one of those niches you don't think about. The value of the service is high. It's easy to deliver results. Honestly, just a phenomenal group to sell to.
If you want to take the screen, Brian, and go into your members area, you're more.
Yeah, let me do that.
I know you got to go soon. I just
Yeah,
want to,
I got a minute or
guys,
two.
Brian's got about 10 more minutes left, and then he's got to run, get to monitoring his launch situation here, I'm sure, and maybe talking to some other guys as well. So I'll go ahead and take the screen.
I'll grab it. Presenter. All right. So no, thanks, Todd. So on the screen, you guys, you'll see the backend members area. A lot of video training, but I got to be honest. If you're like me, you don't like hour-long videos because I'm not patient enough for it. I'm ready to kind of roll. So we do a mix of PDF and video. In the video, I try to keep really short and actionable, less about hearing me drone on endlessly, which, it gets old, and more about just giving you actionable nuggets and pieces you can use. I'll tell you a good one. Make sure you don't skip this, the hidden psychology. This is a really good one. I worked hard on this one, and it helps you understand the logic behind why we're doing it the way we're doing it. I got into a spirited discussion with Matt Basak a few weeks ago about it, and I'm like, Matt, no, we shared an office for a number of years, and he loves short email copy. And I'm like, I love substance-based email copy with local clients because short curiosity-based emails work really good in IM, right? And make money online and some of those biz op kind of niches. However, they lose out almost every time when I test with local clients. And they lose out to speaking the language of the client. And that's what we go into in the psychology section here. And I go into the hows and the whys, and it's all, you guys are going to understand it right away. We've seen it on the internet marketing side, and we talk about applying that with the local clients as well, because it really does work. So it's a really good section if, once you guys that picked it up, I know a few of you did, and I appreciate that, and you can get in there and you'll be able to really deal with that. The other one, I don't know how you're landing deals right now, but there's a great section that we spent a lot of time on. My colleague Tom Gaddis worked in this section. It's talking about the strategy session. And, there's a couple hacks that we shared to help make it successful. How to do it in a way that you're not, you'll see it right over here on the left. How to do it in a way that you're not actually selling. And I got to tell you, there we go. I got to tell you that this, in my mind, is where the rubber meets the road, right? After you generate these leads from cold traffic, you still got to turn it into money. I mean, Herc was right when he said the hardest part for most people is actually getting the deals. It's not the fulfillment or delivering. It's almost always, for most of us, getting the deals. This little tweak to a traditional sales process will help you land way more business, paying business than you've ever seen. It plays to our strengths and not our weaknesses. Now, if you're a superstar sales guy, you may want to do it your way. Now, however, if you don't have at least 10 or 15 clients, I suggest trying our model. We've been playing with this for a number of years. It works, and it works for the average person that maybe is more introverted or is more soft-spoken or isn't a salesy type. So definitely a good section. And then one last thing I'd point out, let me change the, here we go. In the bonus, here it is. In the bonus, I have it in the yellow there on the screen. You'll see some services to sell. We get a lot of tickets into our support desk where they ask questions like, hey, what can I sell the client? And, I always chuckle because I'm like, why don't you sell them one of the things that you bought from me, right? Why don't we use what you bought? But a lot of people get hung up. They get in that analysis paralysis. So we do a good job. We, Nick, Tom, and I split up a few different services from search to messenger to lead gen, and even website design on how you can do it in a way that you don't get hung up in the minutia, that you can kind of scale still. And we talk about each of those. It isn't a pitch to buy or sell anything from us. There's nothing like that. It's a pitch on how that service could work in your business and how to make it scale for you. And that's kind of what we do there. And I would encourage you, when you do get in, go through the training, give it a couple days, come back, hit this module, and go through these, because you'll grab some nuggets even if you've been doing this a while. There's just different takes, right, from different people. And you may have known 90%, but maybe you pick up one or two new things. So, yeah, there we go. I'm going to, Todd, if you want, I can answer some of the questions. Sorry, Herc, go ahead.
Just pointed something out to me that we're going to honor.
What do we do?
This was supposed to be 50 bonus credits to the first 50, but I wrote 100 bonus credits to the first 50. So that's a mistake.
You kept saying 50 credits for the first 50. And I'm like, it says 100.
So we're going to honor that. We're going to honor that because it was our mistake. So I think we're getting close actually to the first 50, but you guys are like, oops, you get an extra 50 bonus credits because I screwed up. So it's 100 bonus credits to the first 50. So for $27, you're actually getting 200 credits to Serp Scout, not 150 because I'm an idiot, but that works out for you.
Guys, that's a lot. I mean, if you think about what one credit will get you in terms of scraping Google, 10 times 50, right? I mean, that's 500 results of people that, you know what, invariably, anytime you use, anytime this system is running and it's pulling back websites, something's wrong. Like every single one of them has something. Right. What we've included here is initially right now, it's the basics, right? It's the basic foot in the door strategies that are not hard to handle. Like any outsource can handle almost any of these problems that they have for 50 to $100 and you're charging 500. So and then the point is you get in, you help them fix something nicely, you gain their trust, you use your communication skills to make sure that everything's going as planned, and then all of a sudden something else happens to their business. They're like, oh, I'm calling this guy because he was so great with me the first time. So just do a good job with one of these little foot in the door strategies, and then you upsell them into, monthly recurring packages. That's the point of all this. I don't know if we made that clear earlier, but that's the point of this. And if you go back and look at what's inside Serp Scout, those are basic problems that all websites have. All websites have something wrong with them, right? That you could fix pretty easily. And what I recommend that some people do is find that one area which you're an expert at, or you have someone who's an expert at, and you can be confident saying, I can fix that problem, right? And then you pay someone $50 to do it, and then you gotta hone in on that. And then we've included that filtering section up on the top right hand side of Serp Scout, where you can just say, hey, I only want people that have a slow loading website. Give me all those guys. I'm going to contact those guys. I'm going to hit them up. I'm going to solve that problem. I'm going to get it going. Or they don't have SSL installed. SSL is so super important now. If your site does not have an SSL, then Google's not going to like you. Plain and simple. And they've made that publicly clear, right? So these are very, very simple strategies, simple angles that you can take to get your foot in the door. Brian has provided like tons of selling content here on how to reach out to these guys, how to speak to them intelligently, how to follow up with them, and how to close those. And it's specifically geared towards a lot of these high-valued niches in here. I don't know if you showed all the niches that are available in the OTO, Brian, but you can read that on the sales page as well. So there's 10 or 15 different niches. Got to be one that you could be interested in and go after.
Todd, there's definitely one. And if not, you got to ask yourself, am I being too picky? Because I picked easy, good ones that you can have success with on purpose. So, yeah. You're right, Todd.
Yeah, just follow what's in there, man, and go for it. There's nothing that can stop you now. I mean, seriously, you have everything you need to go out there and reach people, get them to respond to you, and then be yourself. Let them know that they have a problem and that you can solve it. Still like an old Vanilla Ice lyric there.
Drop the mic. Is that how it went? I believe. Yeah, that's nice.
So
I think, how are we doing on the 50?
Honestly, you blew by that. I believe you guys. I'm pretty sure. So I think you're going to be held to your initial your on the call extension. Yeah, I think you went by that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll leave it live
I'll
for
say
the
this right
webinar.
now. I'll say this right now. If you are on with us live right now, and you know, you're going to get in while we're sitting here talking, you're definitely going to be in, because obviously 50 kind of wasn't enough. We thought there was going to be some left over for replay people. We may have to do something there. I don't know yet. We're probably going to reduce the number of credits. We're not going to do the 100 for the replay guys. Sorry, a little bit of a mistake there. But if you're on here live right now, I know there was a little bit of a website crashing issue. I had the same problem. But if you're on here right now and you know, getting in, we're going to honor that. We're going to go back and review all of the sales from this live webinar, and you will absolutely get 100 credits. So
Todd, before I jump, and I do have to go, if anybody had any issues or any problems, well, I see lots and lots of sales, but I get how it happens sometimes. If they just let you know and you ping me or something, I'll make sure you guys get the absolute best deal, the best price, everything. Just work through Todd or work through Herc, and we'll take care of you. And the reason I came on with these guys is I wanted to make sure you guys did have that, and I wanted it to be personable. I didn't want any auto webinar, any of that stuff. I wanted you to know that we were here to help. And Herc and Todd, thank you guys for letting me come on. I appreciate it.
Hey, we appreciate you, Brian. That was great that you could, you know, take a little time out. And man, I think this is the first webinar we've ever had you on. So I really, it is. It's the first time you've been on live with us and stuff. But guys, and first and foremost, you know, I just wanted to introduce you to Brian too. You know, go follow him, go check out his stuff. He's amazing, and he's super good at what he does. So man, we couldn't be more thrilled to have you on. I really appreciate you taking the time out. So get back to your launch. I know you got a lot of other. You're probably your
Thank you. I'm gonna go check on the. Let's check on the.
Nick and Tom. Send them some cool vibes. I know they're over there.
I will.
On their keyboard. All right,
listen,
Brian,
I have no sympathy for guys in Hawaii, but thanks, Todd. Take care. See you guys. Bye, Herc.
Take care.
Bye, everybody. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Brian. Am I still sharing my screen?
I see me in full view.
Hey. Okay, here, guys. Let me share this again.
Ooh, it's getting a little warm. It was cold this morning, but take it down a notch. Yeah, there's your 100 bonus credits for 50. You kept saying 50 credits, and I was like, not what it says. And hey, you know what? And it's not what you say; it's what's written.
Yeah.
You can say all you want, but what matters is what's written. That's the contract on the page right there. So I'm with the bat for you guys. I messaged her and I'm like, nah.
You
were saying 50, but it's 100, bro.
That's good. $27, you guys get 200 credits into Serp Scout, which is about 2,000 results of scanning, which is crazy good. I mean, that's pretty awesome offer.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I still see a lot of questions. Where do I get this? Where do I get that? When you purchase Lead Factory, when you'll get an email receipt. In that email receipt, there will be a little WSO_XXX. That's your receipt. Okay. You're going to go to your bonus area, your additional bonuses, and there's a link to go set up your Serp Scout account. You're going to take your receipt on that form and you're going to set it up. I can't share it live on the screen. People are asking me to do that because we can't do that. Only buyers can get that link. You just put in your WSO receipt for the products that you purchased. It will automatically set up your account. It will automatically deposit your credits, and it will automatically send you your login information for Serp Scout. So Lead Factory is different. That's on Warrior Plus. Serp Scout is ours. That's going to be on Serp Scout.
All right, guys, we're going to be jumping off here real soon. We're approaching the 2-hour mark. 20 minutes to 2 hours, but we're here because there's still a lot of people on, a lot of stuff going on here. But we're here.
I think we're good. I think we're going to close down this 100 bonus credit offer because that was a mistake anyways. So this is your last chance, guys. $27 will get you the 100 credits to Serp Scout plus 100 bonus credits. It was supposed to be 50, but it's an extra 100 now because I made a mistake. But that will end when this webinar ends. And for replay members, we'll still probably have a certain amount of bonus credits on a timer. It won't be 100, but that was a mistake.
Going once. I'm not seeing anybody say anything. So going twice, going 3 times. There it is. Supremacy.digital/emails. Need support? There it is. There's the offer. Thanks for coming, guys, man. We're really excited about Serp Scout, and we hope you are too. Please leave us feedback. Let us know how things are going, like what, problems here and there you see. It still is in beta. It hasn't been, it hasn't had, a lot of people going over. It's just had a few. So there's a big difference between a few and a lot. And we really want to get this thing nailed, tightened up real quick. So tear it up.
Feedback to support desk, by the way, guys. When you're giving us feedback, feature suggestions, stuff like that, send that to this link as well, please. Supremacy.support. Until we get a feature request area up, we need to put it there.
Right on. All right. Good job, Herc. And thanks to David. I don't know if David's still on, but once again, thank you to David. You guys, look forward to seeing a lot more of David in the future. There he is. Still here.
I didn't want to interrupt with what you guys were going.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great. All right. So I guess we're all just saying bye here now. Like I said, we'll see David, a lot more of David in the future, and it's going to bring you guys a lot of great training inside of Serp Scout as well. So congratulations if you joined. If not, please do consider it, and come check it out. All right, guys, got to go. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.